For most of my life, I've been skinny and I usually have fat in areas that I don't ideally want the fat to be in. So my stomach and usually my cheeks, sometimes even like my neck, the lower neck. I would usually have like a lot of fat in these areas, and you can probably relate to this as well, where you're skinny or you might not even have fat in any areas, you're just flat out skinny. And the reason for this is because of your diet. And the one thing you need to know about your diet, this one thing will literally just change your mindset. It might be a common belief that, oh, you just need to eat a lot of calories. And a lot of people can relate to this that, oh, yeah, I just need to eat a lot of calories and that's the easiest way to bulk. But if you do this and you have a good metabolism, even if you eat a lot of calories, you'll still probably just remain skinny. So what you need to ideally focus on, this one thing that you're missing out on, is protein. If you can just eat as much protein as possible, you don't really need to focus on the timing. You don't need to focus on how much protein you need to eat. You can, if you want to like have an autistic amount of protein, 0.81 grams of protein per pound of body weight, if you want to be like super autistic about it. But I know most likely you're not eating like relatively, I would say even 30 to 40% of how much protein you should be eating. So don't really focus on like getting that amount perfect. Just focus on adding a certain amount that you're comfortable with, getting used to that amount, and then increasing it slowly. When you go to the gym and you're doing a bench press, you're not sitting on that bench and like doing a max rep straight away, like trying to see if you can just do 3 plates. Let's say you're a beginner in the gym. You're not going to the gym and just doing a max rep. You go to the gym and you start off with, let's say, you just start off with the bar, and then you see, oh, can I do 10 reps with the bar? And then once you've done that, you see, okay, can I do 5 kg bars on each side? And then once you've done that, you're like, okay, let's move on to 10 kgs. And then you do 10 kgs. If that's a breeze, move on to 15. It's an increment. And the same thing you should be doing with literally everything in life. Like, you shouldn't start off on your max rep in anything in life. And this is very important for your diet as well. You need to be comfortable being consistent with the simple things. And if you can't stay consistent doing the simple things, it's going to be harder for you to do the hard things. So if you just literally prioritize eating as much protein as you can that is comfortable for you. So if, let's say you literally have 20 grams of protein, like on a good day. On a good day, you eat about 20 grams of protein every single day. That's about, like, let's say a chicken, one piece of chicken. Or like one chicken piece. So let's say that's like your let's just say you're starting off like really low on protein, and you want to actually change, like you want to actually start eating more protein and like start having, like, let's say 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So you weigh, let's say you're skinny, you weigh 65 kg, and you want to aim for, let's say, 1.6 kgs, or roughly about like 2 grams of protein, which essentially, if you're 65 kg, that's like 130, let's just say 130 grams of protein, but you only eat like, let's say 20 or 30 grams of protein every day. Like, that's usually like every week, with it, like on average during the days in the week, you would eat 30 grams of protein. If that's what you're like comfortable with, start on 25, get used to eating 25 every single day, then increase it every week by 5 grams of protein. And that way, I know it's a bit weird, like to, because like protein is not something you can just, oh, I'm going to eat one chicken and a quarter to get that 5 grams of protein. Yeah, it will be a bit weird in the beginning, but if you could just increase it. So let's say, for example, in the morning, you usually have two eggs in the morning. do 2 eggs in the morning for a week, every single morning, and then the next week, 3 eggs every morning, and then the week after that, 3 eggs every morning and a chicken piece in the afternoon, or like some beef portions. It could be diced. I don't know how you eat your beef, steak, or whatever. And then literally just focus on the incremental, slowly increasing it, because then it won't affect you as much. Like a lot of us, like our palates are small, especially when it comes to protein. Like we don't really ideally want to eat protein, but it's just a thing where like we do. I don't know. I'm black. I like chicken, so I love chicken. I love protein. But for a lot of people, they do struggle to eat like a shit ton of protein every single day, and this is because like you're mixing it with carbs. Like some people like to eat like chicken with like chips, or like chicken with loads of rice. So reduce the carb intake and try to increase or slowly increase the amount of protein that you're taking. I actually learned this from someone on an Andrew Huberman podcast, where I think his name's like Dr. Mark Horton or something, Dr. Mark Hoyle. Don't quote me on that. And he literally just says that if you are trying to build mass, like build muscle with your diet, you have to start off on a small amount and then increase it slowly so that it becomes comfortable for you. And it's the same logic as if you're going to the gym or if you're doing cardio. Like if you're doing 10 minutes on the cardio machine and that's what you're comfortable with, and let's say you run at like an interval of like 10 speed, then it would be stupid for you the next day to just go try out a 15 interval for like 20 minutes, because you know like that it's like not gonna work for you. Now I don't want to sit here and say, oh yeah, 1% better every day, and then like on week 3 or 4 you just freaking crash out and just eat bullshit food, and then you've like lost all your gains again. But I think in this concept, especially when you're trying to build muscle, it's better to 1% every single day, or 2%, 3% every single day, because you just get used to, one, getting consistent with eating the proteins every single day, and then two, it just becomes a lot easier for you to manage eating more proteins every single day. It's literally, it coincides with each other, and I think this is what's worked for me, where I literally started off with 2 eggs every single day. I used to literally only be able to eat 2 eggs. I have so many friends that are skinny that say, oh, I can only eat 2 eggs every day. Like, I literally can't eat another egg after 2 eggs. And I used to literally be this type of person. You could probably relate to this. You could probably only eat 2, 3 eggs every single day. So start off with 2 eggs every single day for a week. The next week, increase it to 3 eggs. And literally just force yourself to try to eat 3 eggs, and then increase it every week. If you feel like 3 eggs on the second week is difficult for you and like you're really struggling, then just remain another week with the 3 eggs. At least like you're 1 egg higher than the week before, the weeks before. So that's like that's good. Like you're actually like thriving. So 2 eggs a week, if that's what your baseline is, increase it incrementally. And then once you've kind of like hit your max, so let's say you start eating like, let's say you get to like 5, 6 eggs a day for breakfast, then you can start working on your lunch. I mean, you could work on your lunch regardless, but it would be better to focus on one thing. Your breakfast is literally the start of your day. So it would be better to start your day like hitting a lot of protein straight away, and then you can move on to fixing like your lunch. Then your lunch, you could start off with like 20 grams of protein for lunch, 30 grams of protein for lunch, etc., etc. And then eventually you can work on to, improving your dinner. Obviously, this all just depends on how much how much you want to bulk, and then how much grams of protein you're trying to like aim for based on your height and your weight, etc. So if you weigh 65 kg, you don't want to eat more protein. So you don't want to have like more than 130 grams of protein if you weigh 65 kg, because then anything more than 130 grams of protein will actually just turn into fat, and then you would kind of just be like losing gains. So hopefully I've like answered that question. If you need more help with this, I've literally created a school community for people that can join, that I will literally just be talking about muscle building diets. So feel free to join. It's in the link in the description. I've already got a few people there and they're already enjoying it. So I'll see you guys there.